Hi friends, it's Suzanne here from sunstampin.com, bringing you the May 2023 edition of Crafting at the Lake House. This crafting event took place in Kelowna, BC, Canada, right on the beautiful Okanagan Lake. The annual catalog was celebrated in the projects, so look for new, fresh ideas. There are 12 projects featuring 12 different Stampin' Up! Products, plus 2 bonus projects in this fun video mini-series. There is a link in the description box below to purchase the written PDF in case you're so inclined. I totally appreciate the support. Thank you in advance. So I do hope you have fun watching the videos and get inspired. Hello friends, here we are with card number 11, featuring the Share a Milkshake stamps and dies. Sadly, they're no longer sold as a bundle, so you don't get them 10% off, but they are still current in the annual catalog. So I have a piece of designer series paper called Le Shops, and I used that for the card front, and then I have a piece of basic white here, and then a few other bits and bobs. So I'm going to start with the Milkshake glass. I started off with Pool Party, and then I go over it with, let me see, Balmy Blue, I believe. And again, I'm using a piercing mat just because the images are quite solid and it gives me a little bit of cushion. So I figured out by doing the striped melon mambo and then going over it with the what was I using? Daffodil Delight for the straw. It was easier, so I did the stripes first, then I did the Daffodil Delight, and then I stamped the spoon in Smoky Slate. Initially, I go in with Bubble Bath. This is Fresh Freesia. That is Melon Mambo. And these are the toppings of the Milkshake. I gotta say, this is a very fun stamp set if you like a lot of stamping and combining. So that was Flirty Flamingo, and the last yellow was again Daffodil Delight. And then once all of those inks had been swiped from my desk magically, I have just cut down some of the papers or images that I just stamped so that it makes it easier to put in my mini boho blue limited edition Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. I'm using some old washi tape for the to adhere the die to the image, just because it's a little bit easier, and everyone does this. So here is my little spoon and straw, and I'm going to adhere everything down and then put it through my mini cut and emboss machine. So there's a lot of die cutting with this one, and this is the reason why I chose to use the mini, because it's really easy. What I like about it, it just sits on my desk when I'm using it, and it doesn't take up a lot of real estate on your desk. So if you're doing this on the dining table, it will actually fit. It's not big, and it will do a lot of little images. So this is crumb cake, and I have adhesive sheets on the back of it. So I did run it through the machine a couple of times, back and forth, and then I'm going to remove it from the die using my take your pick tool and the long pokey end. You can see I'm using the new blade on the top. Gosh, I gotta say that it's a lot of fun, those new crafters tools. Okay, so I have 2 of these. So 2 crumb cakes that were adhered with an adhesive sheet on the back. So I'm making this almost like this waffle cone big sticker. I'm going to adhere two together. I did have to run it through the mini cut and emboss machine a couple of times just to make sure that I got perfectly cutting through the cardstock and the adhesive sheet. I did end up off camera taking out all of the little grid squares. I'm sure that you could use that in a different project. I didn't, I'll be honest. And then here we go with the die that cuts out the milkshake topping. So the die is special because you see that little curve on the inside? It cuts a little slice in the topping, and you can stick a spoon or you can stick a straw in it. And that's what we're going to do today. Here is some more melon mambo and a banner. What was that from? The Stylus Shapes Dies for the banner. All right, so I use Melon Mambo to say life is sweeter with you. Now I'm removing that adhesive sheet off of the crumb cake. I'm adhering this together. Sometimes this can be a little tricky, so it was all hands on deck here. I couldn't hold a tool in my pocket, in my hand while I was doing this, but that tool does help to shore up any of the lines so it's nice and solid. And I made sure that all the little bits and bobs and the ends were nicely adhered. So let's put this card together, shall we? Now we have all of our components. So I'm going to remove the release paper from that adhesive sheet. So that's the double stick. I'm going to adhere it on my card. And then I'm going to take my Milkshake glass and I'm going to adhere with some dry adhesive on the back of my bubble bath, and then I'm going to stick my straw in that fun little hole there. And I'm going to adhere it down, and then I'm going to stick it on the Milkshake glass. Now on the back, I'm just going to use some Seal Plus, and then I'm going to start to build my milkshake. So I am deliberately trying to hide the little cut mark now. and I just keep on, just build it, add as many layers as you want. And like I said, I am trying to hide that little curved cut that the die makes. And then I'm going to put dimensional adhesive on the back, and small and large. And then I'm going to use my bone folder to create a banner shape. And I'm going to put dry adhesive on one side of that banner. And I'm going to adhere the banner to my card front. And then I'm going to adhere the milkshake with all its toppings on the card front, making sure that it goes over top of those grid lines. Then I'm going to, just with dry adhesive, adhere some of the hearts that I cut out with the Melon Mambo. And I'm going to apply two to the waffle. And then I'm going to adhere my straw with dry adhesive and also a little bit of the small dimensional Stampin' Dimensionals on the back part of the spoon. And then I'm going to use that very small heart on the top of the spoon. Now to the hearts, I am going to use pearlized enamel effects. If you haven't gotten it, there are 6 different colors that you can use. Let me see. There is the red, silver, and white. And then, is it silver or it's black, I guess. And then in the other pack, you get silver, gold, and bronze. So anyway, this is a fun thing. It takes a while to dry, but I'm squeezing. I keep the nozzle in the liquid a little bit so that it builds itself up and it removes, it kind of removes like bubbles, if you will. And then, so you can see what I did there, squeezed it on, and then I'm coming in with my crafter's pick there, and I'm just sort of drawing, like scratching kind of the pearlized effects to the very edge so that it's covered. And at this point, I'm going to be removing any air bubbles and just smoothing that pearlized effects off. I just wipe it off my fingers, and then it's easy enough to wipe my fingers on a baby wipe or, a rag or whatever you have in your craft room. So what I like to do after this is I tap the back of the card to create a leveling of that liquid. And then that's my card for today. I also wanted to remind you, I've got a few things. The In Color Club is still going. I also wanted to mention that I have a summer creative escape. That registration is almost over. It ends on the 19th, so I would love for you to join in. And thank you so much for watching. I will see you again next time. Bye for now.